And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say.
Hey there, Aries. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader today. What we're looking at in this round of reads is your first and last for the month of October. Right, this is a style of reading I do where on top we have the aces, on bottoms we have the tens, for a good reason. Represented by water, earth, fire, and air, all the elemental locations in the tarot card deck. And your aces on top, what's new, right? Opportunities, ventures, things of that nature. What is emotionally or spiritually, whatever that awakening is for you, what is waking up? And potentially renewed, who knows? And in the tens, culminations, ultimatums, things that we come to conclusions about, right? What does that mean to us after we got through our opening? So as a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times it can be tough, to engage, especially with some tough conversations. I know I've done it as a reader, but I would never purposely, as your reader, try to lead you astray. I don't do that. So I'll do my best with what I got to try to make this conversation as helpful and as useful as possible. So follow along with me today, Aries. In your first and last for October, let's see what the cards say. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Aries in their first and last. We'll start with this Ace of Cups. Month of October. What are we trying to see for Aries in terms of emotional fulfillment? We start here. Okay. To the Ace of Cups. Three of Wands. Okay. Expectations upon the horizon. Are we running from the present, or are we trying to just apply so much optimism? Okay, Four of Cups, from the notion of disappointment. How so? Eight of Wands. Okay, so I'm getting two different vibes here, both of them ultimately spelling out the same thing. Let's start with that Four of Cups. That Four of Cups representing the notion of apathy and disappointment, right? What you see here is a bottle balanced over a lake. The bottle is empty. The flower inside the bottle is starting to wither and dry out, and another bottle is sinking within that lake. So, what is the use of apathy, right? And particularly for the Aries collective, knowing how that kind of fire works, it's almost like you're kicking yourself in the butt for it. Like, why do I feel this way? And in that way, you're actually trying to directly communicate with what you genuinely want. Whatever rut we found ourselves in, we're trying to pull ourselves out of, right? Direct communication. That's the first, and that's what leads you to the horizon. The second, finding out some information, really at first did not give, it's not giving what it was supposed to have gave, right? Finding out what you thought you wanted to hear is in fact what you didn't. And hey, that happens around sometimes. Not gonna say that it doesn't, but it also leads you to say, hey, maybe this is what I needed to see. Full speed ahead. There's still the notion of how much velocity is carried upon that emotional fulfillment. Because again, this was under your Ace of Cups saying, hey, whatever type of just apathetic or just lethargic shape or state I was in, that's gotta stop. And whatever that looks like for me, hey, we're gonna push full steam ahead. And if I found out something I didn't want to hear, hey, just because I didn't want to hear it doesn't mean I didn't need to hear it. I will still push ahead. Okay, got it. To the Ace of Pentacles. So the cards that we need to see, please, for Aries. What are new opportunities presenting themselves? What are tangible? Okay, Queen of Wands. Okay. So whatever this new thing is, we're trying to embrace holy. But what is that? Seven of Cups, the notion of opportunities afoot. And how so? Queen of Swords. Okay, I'm getting it. So now that we have, again, because I think this was just a very unique opening with that Ace of Cups, now that we've addressed whatever we felt was holding us back, keeping us in that, kind of depressive days, for the Aries I'm talking to, so much has just opened up. Right. Once I did the hard thing, once I looked at it directly, once I said what I meant and found out what I needed to, yeah, we're trying to embrace not only the notion of possibility, right? The things that we see as, intangible, but so many possibilities in front of us. No, we're affirming that and saying, hey, all of these are possibilities now. Which one do I pick? Right? That Queen of Swords is not wavering in her knowledge and decision making. And upon that Seven of Cups and Queen of Wands, although there is, a cold hard truth and calculation to it, there's also the notion that no, if this is real in front of me, then I got to make my choices with that. What does that look like? Okay, I like that. To the Ace of Wands, the whole element of fire for Aries. What is driving the spirit to push onwards? Show the cards we need to see, please, upon the Ace of Wands in this read. That's a break. Why are we breaking? Show the cards that we need to see, please, upon the Ace of Wands in this reading. Nope. Didn't touch the table, cannot take. Okay. Good. To the Ace of Wands, we see Page of Pentacles. Because beyond dreaming and trying to, embolden and empower the spirit, I gotta try. I gotta find out what that means. Chariot, the card of Cancer. Trying to embrace everything that is put into this journey. And again, go full speed ahead. This has a lot of direction to it. Chariot, one of the fastest moving cards in the entire deck, if not the fastest. But it happens to carry all aspects that it can within its carriage, right? Good, bad, or otherwise. You can do this. We're trying to say here, the Fool. Yep. Kind of knew it. No, I got a lot of life to do. And I gotta make myself uncomfortable. I gotta push those boundaries. I gotta see what's out there for me. Because it seems like there's a lot. And I can't regress. I don't want to go back. I found out what I needed to. That was very much obvious back here. And now, what does the journey entail for me? Actually, what does that look like? To the Ace of Swords. Reveal the Ace of Swords upon this read. What defines truth and by extension challenge for Aries in this read today? What of that Ace of Swords in the read? Okay, well, we're gonna see it. Judgment. Okay, and if knowledge is truth and truth is power, then maybe now is the right time, right? To understand that the conclusion I made, it may not be the prettiest one, but hey, we here for a reason, right? This isn't simply happy-go-lucky energy. We're actually trying to make ourselves vibe with what the universe is showing us right now. The Aries I'm talking to, hey, we may not have liked what was going on, but there's emotional fulfillment to be had regardless of what that solution was. Here now, it's new opportunities. Actually, there's so much stuff is in front of me. I don't want to miss out. I gotta try. And so, next to that Judgment, Six of Swords, the power of moving forward. Science, and more so, hey, things are in acceleration. Moving on, moving forward. Right now is that time. Three of Pentacles. And maybe it could be ruining collaboration and friendship. But we will find, and the truth that we're settling on, we need to be around what supports us back. Now's the time. Go look for it. Underneath it all, Eight of Cups, walking away. Could could be some Aries right now who are walking away from an investment that disappointed them. I could definitely see that. But regardless, this isn't such a painful walking away as what the Eight of Cups gets a very bad reputation for that. It was like so much sorrow and abandonment. No, this is Eight of Cups who said, I'm cool. Let me go. I'm cool. Right. I don't want to let the notion of, what we couldn't let go of hold us back. This is a conclusion that was gradually reached over time and said, hey, once the opportunity of what's new out there outweighs all of my disappointment, again, going back to that beginning of the things that didn't work out, I'm good. That's a great attitude to have, Aries. Okay. So now, starting with that 10 of Cups, looking towards a 10. Show us cards we need to see, please. Define that 10 of Cups with harmony and synchronicity for Aries in their read. Oh, that's a break. I don't think that was bad shuffling, but we'll see. Show us cards we need to see, please. Define that 10 of Cups in this read. Thought a card almost flew out there. 1, 2, 3. To that 10 of Cups. 7 of Swords. Okay. Let me see what couples that first before I try to make a judgment call on it. 8 of Swords. And the Fool. Okay, yeah. That wasn't entirely what I thought it was going to pan out to be, but there's a reason for that. Let's look at that 8 of Swords and go to that 7 of Swords, then that Fool, which spells out what your beginning was, right? Here's what we're synchronizing with. What we once thought was this situation, whatever it was, it can never change. The 8 of Swords, the notion of being powerless in an open air cage. As I said in many videos so far, the 8 of Swords is oftentimes the conclusions that we don't like. So we pretend that we don't see them, right? And so with the 8 of Swords, hey, can she climb out of that open air cage of swords? Absolutely. Is it probably going to hurt on the way out? Also, yeah, right? Putting that together and why we see that under harmony, we can pretend that we don't see, or we can move and understand, yeah, there's going to be some pain along the way. There's going to be some things I don't like to see along the way. And hey, is it still worth it? Is it better than us staying still and stagnant? Now, the other card, that 7 of Swords, that all is not as appears to be on the surface, right? And moving that next to that 8 of Swords, I oftentimes interpret that as being, okay, who are we lying to right now? Right? I'm talking to an Aries who they say they want a new beginning. Okay, that also means if you want change, you also have to change. Right? We can pretend we don't know the answer. We can pretend that, things, maybe it was bad time, maybe no. There's so much opportunity that you open up with, I'm going to have to refute that flat out. What we don't like is the answer that we came into harmony with. Whatever truth, whatever is calling that 4 of Cups in our, at the very beginning of this read, we don't like that. Does it change the fact that we're still moving? No. Right? We have to make a choice, because if we pretend we don't see our way out, then we also have to firmly sit comfortably in that cage of swords, that 8 of Swords, right? So what are we going to do with that? We're saying we want a new beginning. If we want change, then we also have to change ourselves. It's a fair exchange, right? To the 10 of Pentacles, reveal the 10 of Pentacles when this read. Ooh. What is held upon the 10 of Pentacles within this read today? For Aries, in their first and last. To the 10 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles, okay. The notion of being left behind. And I wonder why that's appearing under your 10, but we'll see. The Chariot. Then maybe this is part of the journey after all. We have it pulled out twice here. Chariot, card of Cancer. 6 of Wands. Oh. Ah, got it. So, whatever experience or whatever we're once saying at one point, I couldn't live without, or this, I don't know why this isn't working for me. Why hasn't this, come into fruition? What we couldn't let go of, we still feel left behind by, right? That kind of void, it doesn't go away easily. That Five of Pentacles, the notion of, um, basically poverty, desolation, or being left behind. And it's interesting that comes under your Ten of Pentacles because also next to that is a Chariot and the Six of Wands. Chariot being, like I said earlier, carrying all emotionality within a fast-moving journey. And the other part, the Six of Wands, recognition and validation. Cruelly, and maybe even ironically in some ways, this could be the universe's way of telling you, you gotta be strong enough to let that go. Right? You can either be left behind or see the pathway in front of you. And going back to the Eight of Swords underneath that harmony, we said we wanted to harmonize with change and things that are in front of us. Here's one in front of us. Here's what's in front of us. We could sit here in the sorrow of being left behind, or we can go live our life. It's very blunt and an easy, straightforward choice. I know Aries like to, choose upon a lot. Yeah, even if we were left behind, so what? Time to go. To that Ten of Wands, reveal the Ten of Wands. Home element of fire for Aries in the read. What are the burden that we carry upon our back? And why do we find it purpose in its placement there? Shows the cards that we need to see, please. What of that Ten of Wands here in this read from Aries? Queen of Swords. Knowledge is power, and we can't pretend that we don't know anymore. Three of Wands, expectation of the horizon. You had that, it was the first card that we pulled in this read. And the Ten of Wands again. Your burden now. And what we're saying, we're not trying to move from. We're not trying to stray away from it. In fact, we're choosing to carry it, and we're going to double down on it. That's almost incredibly stubborn energy, which, it's on par for the Aries collective. Trust me, as an Aries myself, right? Whatever burdens that we're sitting with, Aries, is something that, hey, we're going to stick with. We're not going to move from it, not going to budge. There's value here. And I know something I did not like. That's at the forefront of this read. But the facts are the facts. Queen of Swords twice and the Three of Wands twice. Hey, let's carry this into the horizon. Not in the form of regret or lamentation, but the notion that there was value here. And I don't have to hate myself throughout that process to say that there was. Or pretend that there wasn't, right? Both ways. Either way, the only way I can expect the horizon is if I sat firm in whatever decision this was. If I'm saying that brighter days are ahead of me, hey, I better start acting like it. To the Ten of Swords. Reveal the Ten of Swords within this read. Show the cards we need to see, please, for the Aries collective. What about the Ten of Swords within this read? Conclusive, painful things. Where are they? Where are they going? The Tower. Okay. Interesting that comes up. How so? The Magician. And Strength, the card of Leo. On one hand, we may have manifested disaster in itself, but trust me, that Tower gets such a terrible rap because it's just so disruptive. The Tower ultimately can only knock down that which was not meant to stand in the first place. Right? That's the part that always gets missed of that card, which is why when we only read part one of the entire notion, it's inevitably going to get a bad rap because it's only seen as chaos and destruction. Here, the conclusive ending, maybe that this was coming all along, the Magician, located here next to that tower. Maybe part of me wanted that to fall apart. Who knows? But what I do also know is that when the rubble settles, when the dust settles, when the rubble stops moving, I had the strength and fortitude within to go find my way. Whatever that means for me, I'm going to go find that. Okay. And so, hey, whatever happens, we did our best. We tried. But more than trying right now, it's about living. It's about going out and finding whatever the world wants to show to you. Underneath it all, 5 of Cups. And the pain in having to walk away from something that meant so much to us, it's still there. Hey, I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. Whatever we felt disappointment with, whether we had to find it out directly or just happened across it, or trying to break ourselves out of that depressive state, Aries, it still points to the same fact that we're sad because we felt for it. And because we felt for it, we also don't want to be stuck there. So we got a choice to make. Do we feel for it forever and create our own prison? Or do we move on and find what life has in store for us? Next, define the major arcana strewn across the table for Aries in their first and last read today. We first let's look at that Chariot, because that has been drawing my eye the moment I put this deck. We start with the Chariot, the card of Cancer, located under the Ace of Wands. What does the Chariot show us? What are the cards that we need to see, please? We start here with the Chariot and move deeper. Ace of Wands. To believe in the flames of our own spirit, the fire of our own soul, whatever you want to call it, yeah, I can deal with it. I'm going to be good. But this wave of inspiration, never let it go, right? It's hitting you hard for a reason. We have to try. We have to try. To the Fool, 5 of Swords. And what we felt like we couldn't change in the past, or the things that we, felt like we may have stumbled around or just didn't go right for us, maybe it wasn't meant to. Right, the Fool, the level of optimism with that new beginning. We have to accept that whether I stayed in a situation that wasn't ultimately benefiting me, Aries, or I don't know, I had the opportunity to move forward and I didn't. I could stab at myself, or I could take jabs at myself the entire time, right? The entire time saying, hey, I didn't do it right, and then beat myself up for it. Or I could say, yeah, I did that, and I still deserve happiness. Life gone life. To Judgment. And so the level of optimism we claim that we have will now be tested. The Page of Wands. Do we truly believe the things that we're saying? Or is that just a bluff? To the Fool. You can't just answer. The Fool gets defined by the Fool. Because we can't pretend we don't know anymore. So, hey, the only answer is new journey, new life. 1, 2, 3. The Fool, you drew it 3 times in this read. Great. To Chariot, the card of Cancer. 9 of Cups. Okay. And maybe the expression of love and what it means to actually give that, what it means to be on that level of emotionally vulnerable and want to offer that. If the Aries I'm talking to is walking away for an emotional investment with somebody that didn't work out, having that 9 of Cups underneath that Chariot, underneath the 10 of Pentacles, I will say, hey, you're still very much lovable. Do not forget that. And maybe this is a lesson in how to invest in somebody who wants to do it right. Just throwing that out there. I'm seeing 3 major arcana right now, so I'm just trying to decide on which. Yeah. Magician first. The Emperor. And so that's why the Tower was going in our favor. It is our choice, but our choice was to find us again. And that's probably why the Tower got summoned. Looking at the Tower, Empress. Whatever chance or shot that we had, felt like we destroyed. or at least whatever structure that was being built had to come down. Fair enough. I wish I could dive more into those, but I'm going to leave it at their base meaning. Right now, here, hey, if we saw this person as our significant other, and because I am getting, the vibe that some areas out there, that's what they're dealing with, and, we totally blew it, or it just can't happen at some point. Hey, that's where we stand right now. And if it wasn't meant to happen, then, if it works, then why doesn't it work? I guess that's a bigger question I have for you, Aries. To strength, the High Priestess, finding our voice within to say, hey, I'm bigger than this, I'm better than this, and I can't wait to show that. Resolution, real cards of the resolution upon this read. What's on the space resolution upon the journey for Aries in their first and last read today. Real cards of resolution for Aries in this read. That ring line is so bright. I'm sorry. Okay, so resolution for Aries, Queen of Cups, the loving and endeared heart. I have the best in me to show, and I can't wait to actually reveal that. King of Cups. A matching set. And what we once thought was, at least going off the narrative of the Aries who was the emperor trying to find their empress and thought that all blew up. Maybe it's actually trying to point you to somebody that you should meet. Who knows? But I am, I'm getting a little bit of intimacy vibes here. Okay. Ultimately saying, hey, here's my emotionally endeared self. I want to show it. I want to give that. And I don't want to be afraid of what that means. The King of Cups, I can balance all my emotions at once, but let me show you the best of me. Partnering those two together, which is why they're a matching pair, those are people that want to give, right? Want to show their best to each other and hopefully want to grow, because that's ultimately the point there. Underneath it all, 10 of Cups, harmony. Oh, so much water on the board. Yeah, there's a strong amount of the collective who's dealing with intimate partner things, but beyond the pain and beyond the notion of walking away, maybe all of this was for the better. I have to force myself to see. So that's why seeing your read today, Aries. All in all, yeah, whatever didn't work out. Cool. We established that. And we can kick ourselves for it. We could blame ourselves for what didn't go right. But ultimately, we have to ask, is the comfort of our misery worth more than the opportunity that rests on new horizons? Right? Because we already said in the beginning, we're tired of being tired. Now what? And so, while we do feel that we missed out on one opportunity, or that we may have messed something up, we also got the feeling that, hey, if it wasn't right for me, it ain't right for me. And it's going to take some time to accept that. But also, I don't want us to use that as our justification for not going out and exploring what does life have to offer. And how can I better position myself to be ready to receive it. That's what I have for you in your read today, Aries. Hope this conversation helped, because we went from this direction to that direction, and we still came to the same conclusion that, hey, new journeys await if I'm brave enough to take that step. I hope you step properly. I hope this conversation helped, and yeah, come forward. See you around, okay?